Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We have an exciting message today, especially for all of the blessed families and members in Asia Pacific 1. Why? Because we just completed the first 3 chapters of True Mother's autobiography, The Mother of Peace. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Come on. We did great. We've been doing this now since October, every week, pulling out key points and insights from our mother's life to help us better connect with God and true parents, and especially true mother who is leading us through the providence at this time. Now, from next week, we're going to continue with those messages. But this week, we have a unique message. And you've guessed it, it has something to do with the beautiful image behind me, which says Chambo. That's right. Chambo is the core mission that all blessed families throughout the world have been invited to participate in. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit about what that means for us today. So Cheonbo, I hope you like the logo. It's colorful, it's modern, it's fresh, and I want to get you excited, and I want us to be colorful, modern, and fresh. Okay, so first of all, enjoy the logo. Next, let's start with some words from our true Father. Father said, the mission of the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity is over, and so is the mission of religion. For the first time in history, we are entering into the new age, an age when humanity does not need salvation. The Family Federation is creating ideal families in order to complete the work of restoration, to establish God's ideal of creation, and to build the heavenly ideal world. Now, for all of you brothers and sisters working in the religious sphere, don't worry. And especially for our Christian brothers and sisters, don't worry. We're not saying that your work is not needed, but what Father is saying here is that the final work where all of the religious spheres converge and culminate and complete themselves is in the realm of the family, the blessed central family. Let us continue with some words from our true mother. She said this year on Foundation Day, all 7.8 billion people around the world wish to return to Heavenly Parents' bosom. And the first step in doing so is to understand that God is our Heavenly Parent. And it is our mission to guide all of humanity to return to God's bosom, to guide them back to Heavenly Parent. And I also wish to emphasize that this has been the wish of true parents. And through true parents, humanity can receive the blessing and be born again into the lineage of God and become beloved sons and daughters of God. This is incredible, incredible. Let us continue. For the past 6,000 years, many people could not understand the true identity of God. It is now time to wash away the mistakes of the past caused by the ignorance of human beings and return the earth to its pristine condition and solve the various problems afflicting humanity today. Return the earth into the kingdom of heaven. Return the earth into the kingdom of heaven. And by the way, she says, this is possible by working together with true parents. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let us listen to just a few more words from our true mother. This is from her birthday this year. Beloved leaders and families from around the world, you need to understand that the time has come to bring about the fulfillment of the providence. It is through true parents that fallen humanity can receive the blessing and be born again as God's beloved children, to be engrafted. And blessed families have the responsibility of fulfilling heavenly tribal messiahship. Accomplishing the responsibility of blessed families will lay the foundation for the eternal Chon Il-guk. All those who fulfill this responsibility will become the noble and victorious Chambo families. The opportunity has come for all blessed families to become Chambo families. This time is the golden time of your lives. Okay, now we've just pulled a few words from Mother's 2 recent speeches, okay? But I'm now going to condense everything she said into 4 simple points. What are those 4 points? It's really the three great blessings and tribal messiahship. The 3 great blessings and Chambo. Are you ready? Listen to this. Mother said, until 2027, anyone who knows true parents and anyone who is a part of the Family Federation should change, should transform. For example, the snake needs to shed its skin in order to grow. So what is it that we need to change? Is it someone else that needs to change? Is it some other organization that needs to change? Is it some other guest or VIP or some other church or religion that needs to change? Is it my spouse that needs to change? My children that needs to change? I'm now going to extract 4 points from Mother's speeches and prove to you that these are the 4 areas where we need to change, okay? It's all in line, first of all, with the 3 great blessings. Mother said that God is our heavenly parent. This is the significance of our mind-body unity. This is the relationship that we develop with God. We are to become spiritual and physical beings who are healthy, spiritually, healthy, physically, vibrating in oneness with God as our heavenly parent, okay? That is the meaning of the first great blessing. Are you with me, humanity? Okay, she said that in this message. Then she said, we should all be receiving the marriage blessing from true parents. This is the significance of the second great blessing, okay? Marriage blessing, the husband-wife relationship, the family relationship, producing offspring, a God-centered relationship with our spouse, a God-centered blessed marriage, a God-centered blessed family. This is the cornerstone, the building block of humanity, okay? But what else do we have to take care of? Mother talked about the earth, right? Return the earth to its pristine condition. That's the third great blessing, to become lords and ladies over all of created universe, lovingly, to take care of our environment. This is our blessing and responsibility since the beginning of time. But because we fell, because we went away from God's original plan, we have a fourth responsibility, which is to fulfill Chambo, right? Because we are regaining lost ground. We are regaining the lost children of God back into the heavenly realm. What are we really multiplying here, though? Is it just about giving out the blessing and teaching the divine principle? No. Actually, what we're doing with Chambo, both vertically and horizontally, is we're sharing with them the fulfillment of the 3 great blessings. We should be sharing with them how to better resonate in relationship with God, how to be a person of integrity, spiritually and physically. And also, we're sharing the blessed family, the blessing, not only restoring the lineage, but actually building the culture of a heavenly blessed family. Okay, that's another thing we're multiplying. And the third thing we're really multiplying is the blessing and the teachings around how to properly steward over our environment. Cheonbo, in my opinion, includes all of these things. So when we talk about the Cheonbo challenge, we're actually talking about all of those things. So are you starting to get excited? Are you overwhelmed? I know many of you have already heard 100 times about Chambo or Heavenly Tribal Messiahship, but I really want to encourage you or remind you, this applies to everyone, okay? What is the Chambo Challenge, okay? The Chambo Challenge is something we're doing in Asia Pacific 1 right now. This is unique to Asia Pacific 1, building on the incredible foundation that we already have in Asia and bringing, the last 8 years of work that I've been working on and developing in the West. We're working together in this 120-day Chambo Challenge, and it's amazing. Let me share with you. First of all, the Chambo Challenge is about improving your mind-body unity. If you participate in the Chambo Challenge, this area of your life will improve. Yes, I promise you. If you commit, it will improve. Also, it will improve your family relationships. This is so important. When we talk about Heavenly Tribal Messiahship, if we're spiritually or physically becoming unhealthy, how can we fulfill Heavenly Tribal Messiahship? Or if we're struggling with our spouse, struggling with our children, it's not so easy. We at least need to make improvements in these areas so that we can get excited about multiplying these things, right? You will also develop your ownership of all things. So you will absolutely improve your ability and your control over stewarding, for example, your household or your finances or your education or your church center, whatever it is that you want to improve. And of course, last but not least, you absolutely will advance your Chambo foundation, both vertically and horizontally, guaranteed. No matter where you are today, no matter what stage you are at right now with your Heavenly Tribal Messiahship, you will advance in this area, I promise you, and you will love it. So, what are we going to be doing throughout this 120 days? How does this work? Well, I want to keep it real simple for now. First of all, it's 120 days. There will be weekly support meetings that I will personally be there with you during those meetings and other great leaders. Also, we will be giving you strategic planning tools to both dream and plan and measure and review every single area of your life that you are developing to improve throughout this 120 days. We're going to give you the tools and the guidance on how to plan, strategize, measure, and review. We're also going to be listening to inspiring testimonies every week, more than once a week. Why? Well, first of all, they're inspiring, but also they're educational. These testimonies will teach us how we can improve in each of these areas in our own lives. And we're not just going to be hearing testimonies from people who are perfect. We're going to be hearing from testimonies of others like you and me and others who are not yet perfect, and we're still developing in each of these areas, right? So it's going to be really inspiring and educational at the same time. We're going to be conducting this with support at the regional level, the national level, and even the local level. We're going to be organizing into Trinities. So that means not only the weekly meetings as a large group, but you're going to be conducting weekly small group meetings that really give you that time and support that you need to dig into the details of your Chambo challenge. And last but not least, you're not going to be alone. If I just said, hey guys, who's going to do Chambo? Okay, good luck. Yeah, maybe some of you can do that, but most of us, we need the help. Even True Mother wants us to work together, right? So the most important thing might be for many of you that you're simply not going to be alone. There's going to be somebody holding your hand throughout this entire process. We're going to be having fun. It's going to be enjoyable. We're going to be crying and laughing together. It's going to be great. All right, Mother wants us to do it together, so I really want you to sign up for this Chambo challenge. But you might still be wondering, why is it important for me personally? So we know it's important for God, it's important for true parents, it's important for the providence, but why is it important for me? I've got to say that many members, especially up until a few years ago, most members really, we misunderstood the fundamental blessing that true parents gave us. Okay, most of us understood that we joined this incredible movement and we laid down a foundation to be able to receive the blessing and create a blessed family. And many of us thought that that was kind of it, but that's absolutely not it. In fact, that idea is as ridiculous as thinking that you can just live your whole life as a single person. For the single person to be happy, we need to marry and have that environment of the family to grow in and be protected in, right? Who wants to be single for their whole life, right? Nobody. So at the same time, however, what does the family need in order to settle? Most of us got confused and thought that it was the church environment, but that particular phase is short-term. Let me explain by listening to True Father's words. Father said, I have been speaking about the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification for several years. If you had done your home church activities, we would not have needed to go through the course of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Did you hear that? And Father was saying this in the early 90s. He said, if you'd finished your home church, we wouldn't need Family Fed. Why? he says, everything would have been finished already. Everything would have been finished already. However, because you did not fulfill that, you need to focus on your relatives once again. Home church is the way to set up your family level foundation. Let's read some more. After you achieve victory as an individual and for a family, your family should overcome the levels of tribe, people, nation, and world. Therefore, your wish as an individual should be to mold your family into one that stands on the side of heaven. And after establishing such a family, however, your attitude may become, oh, I've gone through hell and beyond for the matter of the blessing, and I've overcome all the obstacles. I have reached my goal now that I am married, right? So some people are like this, because frankly, it's not easy to get married and raise a family. So it's a lot of work. And many families thought maybe that's the kind of conclusion of their heavenly responsibility. Father says, you then may try to take a nap and enjoy your life. If you do, however, Satan will lay siege through the world and nation, the people and the tribe to engulf you. That means to suffocate and choke you. The individual needs a family in order to settle, right? The individual without a family is completely unprotected. Thus, we've been struggling to establish families for the sake of the individuals. By the same token, a family without a tribe cannot settle. A family without a tribe cannot settle. Your tribe should serve as a hedge that protects you and your family from blasts of wind and other adversities. Now, if you really listen to what Father is saying here, he's basically saying that. And sorry, I'm just going to give it to you straight here. If we don't fulfill our heavenly tribal messiahship, absolutely our family, whether in the first or second generation or third generation, absolutely you will find that our family suffers unnecessary burden, unnecessary indemnity, you could say, because it's simply an unprotected family. The individuals within the family have the condition to be protected, but not the family itself. And if the family is not protected, then basically neither is the individual. We need to take responsibility, not just for the individual and the family, but we also need to take responsibility for the tribe. If we don't, we're going to be attacked, guys. I mean, it's simple as that. Father says, without creating such a realm that can serve this purpose, you cannot live as a peaceful family. The way to do that is to become the tribal leader for your relatives. That is the objective of the tribal Messiah mission. He said this in 1992. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Maybe you could say this is very strong, but really liberating if you understand what Father and Mother have been trying to do for decades. And it didn't start in the 1990s, right? And only just now is our worldwide movement starting to wake up to the importance of tribal messiahship. But true parents have been asking us to do this for decades, decades. Imagine where we would be today if we had already done it. Imagine, brothers and sisters. You could focus on that one question for the next 7 mornings of PeaceNet. Just imagine where we would be today had we taken responsibility for this. So the reason I'm giving you this message today is because I really want you to start to unpack the dream that God is giving you for your tribe. Okay? This is the point of today's message. So are you starting to get a little bit anxious or excited about the Chambo challenge? What I'm saying is that if you sign up for this, I will walk you through it. We have incredible leaders on our team. As a team, we will walk you through it. We will walk through this together. And after the 120 days, guaranteed, everyone will be in a much, much, much better place, both personally and as a family. And imagine if Mother asks you at the end of 120 days, what would you like to report? You will have so much to report that's positive and inspiring. I promise you. So are you ready? Are you ready to sign up? First, I want to quickly go through what we have done in Asia Pacific 1, because I think understanding this context of the time period that we're working in may be helpful for some of you. So Please pay attention to what I'm about to share. We have been focusing on this, and we have been focusing on this for a very, very, very strategic reason, okay, in our region. You may remember that in the Cheonbo leaders meeting, I reported to the world that in Asia Pacific 1, this would be our number one strategy, uniting with True Mother. I know many of us thought we were already perfectly united with True Mother, but I think everyone without a doubt in Asia Pacific 1 will admit that now, compared to maybe 4 months ago, you feel at least a little bit, if not a lot more united with our True Mother in heart. Do you agree? If you agree, please let me know. Please share your testimony. I'd like to really hear it after having completed the first 3 chapters of her incredible heavenly life, or heavenly person through a challenging life. So on the foundation of those 3 months, we're ready to do our Chambo challenge. And I want to walk you through the timeline of where we are in this process, okay? We started with our Mother of Peace Sunday messages. And in October, we started a 40-day condition of prayer. Very soon after the leadership change, I'm sure all regions started some type of prayer condition. We did as well in October. And actually through October to February, we completed 3 40-day conditions. First was prayer, then it was prayer and bowing. We included a special 21-day Hyojan love offering in there. And then the third condition was 40 days of prayer and hundoke, where we started our morning devotion at the national level. Okay? On that foundation, we started 2 major initiatives. Okay? Number 1, we started our first 120-day Chambo challenge with 60 leadership couples. Many of you haven't heard about that, but I'm telling you now. The second thing we started was PeaceNet. On the foundation of the first 120 days of devotion, we launched PeaceNet. And these 2 things are going parallel. So between March and July, the leaders have signed up for a 120-day Chambo challenge. Meanwhile, the members are participating in 3 sets of 40-day PeaceNet conditions. First, centered on God. Second, centered on the family. And the third one will be centered on the environment. But all of the content is still from Mother's precious life story. So you can see from these 3 sets of 40-day conditions, we're really touching on the points of the 3 great blessings. And on that foundation, we're going to invite you, our members, to start your Chambo challenge. Now, the dates, by the way, have not yet been set for you. The purpose of this message today is to get you excited and to get you pre-registered, okay? Now, that means we're going to be doing the 3rd set from July to October 2021. We're going to continue with PeaceNet and the Chambo Challenge simultaneously, just like the leaders are doing right now. So this is amazing if you think about it, because what is all this working towards? From when we started last year in October, we're going through 3 sets of 120-day conditions. That's a 360-day plan to fulfill Chambo by October 2021. Isn't that amazing? How do you feel about that? Can you believe it, brothers and sisters? That means from the very beginning, just starting off very simply in prayer and reading Mother's book and translating Mother's book already into 7 languages. By the end of our first year, we will have brought all of our leaders through Chambo and a number of members. That is, all of you who choose to sign up Okay. So Mother said this: more Chambo families are being born around the world. The opportunity has come for all blessed families to become Chambo families. This is the time. This time is the golden time of your lives. Isn't that amazing? So who's up for it? Who is excited about signing up for the Chambo Challenge? So what we want you to do is pre-register. Your leader will be giving you a link where you can do so. And by pre-registering, what does that mean? It means I want to know who you are. I want to personally know who you are and where you are. And we're also going to be reaching out to you to find out exactly where you are. We're going to be putting together a database for me to be able to see where every single family is right now, currently, in their vertical and horizontal tribal messiahship, where you are in terms of liberating and blessing your ancestors and blessing your family members and community horizontally. I will be reporting this to True Mother. Now, you shouldn't think of this as an inspection or any kind of judgment. You know, if you sign up for the Cheonbo Challenge, I will share with you things that you've never heard before. I will also share with you some of my own testimonies that probably led me to where I am today and why I am here today with you. I will reveal things to you that most members have not really thought of before or really even heard of before. Because frankly, true parents have understood the fundamental missing component for decades, but we have not understood it. We have not understood it. Just in the last episode, we were learning about, after Mother's marriage and then Mother's life after the Holy Wedding. 1960, there was so much potential at that time. The providence could have gone on so much quicker. But if you study the life of true parents and our worldwide movement very closely, you will notice that time after time, we hit a brick wall and we had to kind of go back to square one and start again. Some major indemnity needed to be paid. But if you look closely, just prior to hitting that brick wall, there was an incredible opportunity. And every time it was an opportunity that was missed. And if you study, every time it was an opportunity the opportunity that was missed was us fulfilling our heavenly tribal messiahship. This isn't something that just started after Foundation Day. We used to call it home church. Then we call it tribal messiahship, then heavenly tribal messiahship. Now it's really Chambo. But this has been our mission since the beginning. Okay, this has been our mission since the beginning. And I promise you, with all of my heart, any struggle that you've had in your life of faith, even in your family, in your church community, any kind of struggle actually stems from not fulfilling this one. We, like Father said, have allowed ourselves, our families, and therefore our entire community to be compromised. It's like we have this beautiful home and all of the windows are broken and the cold winter wind can come in at any time and cut us to the bone. It's because the blessing that we've received, the education and life-changing experience that we've surely received is not for me. It's not for my family. It's for the sake of the world. And the way that God has devised us to be able to multiply that blessing is through heavenly tribal messiahship, through Chambo. And I promise you, even if you're a religious leader, if you are a Christian pastor or church leader, you should sign up for the Chambo Challenge because it will help you grow your church. This challenge will help you grow yourself. It will help you grow your tribe. And step by step, we will start to untangle the complications that have made us trip up personally and as families and communities for years. This is why Father and Mother have been asking us to do this so desperately for so long. So, are you ready? What I'm asking you to do today is reflect on this message that I've shared with you. Reflect on the words of our true Father and true Mother. I'm trying to convey to you the internal and external reasons why you want to do this. I'm trying to convey to you the individual, the family, and the providential reasons why you want to do this. I could just say you have to do this, but I think that if you're watching this message, surely you are a person that truly, truly wants to do this. I know some of you may be afraid. Some of you may not understand still what it all means. Don't worry. That's the purpose of the 120-day Chambo challenge. And if you pre-register, that will let us be in touch with you and communicate with you and even give you some tools and resources in advance to get ready so that you can absolutely be accounted among the victors this October, this year, absolutely. And for those of you that for any reason can't get the whole way by October, you will be a whole lot further closer to the finish line. Yes. And you will be happier. I promise you, guaranteed you will be happier. But I'm going to need commitment from you. I'm going to need real commitment from you. And I want to pray over your names that register. I want to report to True Mother those who are registered. And frankly, it should be everyone. Honestly, my heart will be heavy to report to True Mother anything less than 100% participation. But I know that everyone has their own responsibility. And so I'm not going to push you with fear or duty. We are not living in the era of growth through indemnity. We are living in the era of growth through attendance. So I want to invite you and your families. This is something that you sign up for as a couple. Also, your children are invited to participate. Essentially, this is a 120-day workshop that I will lead you to your victory, along with great leaders and others who have gone before and accomplished everything that you will accomplish already. So, brothers and sisters, please get excited. Please be asking your leader right now where you can sign up. Please sign up as soon as you can. And for those of you who are participating in PeaceNet over the next few days, this is the topic that you will be discussing. I encourage you to ask your leaders to hear their testimony, those of them who are already participating in the 120-day Chambo challenge that I prepared especially for the leaders. Ask them what their experience is so far. And leaders, please share your testimonies so far. Also, I want you to spend some time in reflection to prepare your mind. In what ways do what can you draw from what you heard in this message? And in what ways do you really want to grow as an individual, as a family, and within your Chambo? Brothers and sisters, have a wonderful day. Be blessed. The next time I speak to you, I'll be speaking to you from Korea, because True Mother has invited the leaders from around the world to meet her in Korea. This is an incredible blessing, even though there's external challenges like another 2 weeks quarantine and travel. But my heart is so happy to go there. Why am I going to meet True Mother? Think of True Mother for over a year. She herself has been isolated in quarantine with only a handful, even less than a handful of people who can see her on a regular basis, because we are doing everything we can to protect her health. But how is that for her? How is that for Mother to be so isolated for so long? She told us that she desperately wants to see you. She wants to see the members. She desperately wants to be with you. And so because of that, she has invited the leaders from around the world, just a few leaders from around the world, to go to Korea and to see her at least once, if possible. That is why I am going, because I go as your representative. So please send me the prayers that you have. Send me the reflections that you have. I'm going as your representative after the first, 4 or 5 months of our new team in Asia Pacific One, after I think 14 or 15 messages centered on her book, after translating this into 7 or 8 languages, and we're printing this month. All of that we take as a team, all of the testimonies of our blessed families, our children. I'm taking all of those with me in my heart and in my suitcase. And so I'm telling you this because I'm going with the heart to bring you with me, to bring my family with me, and to bring you with me. And so I will be sharing stories and messages from there, and whatever I can share with you from there, I will happily and joyfully share with you so that you can feel that you are there with True Mother, and you too are receiving her smile and love and joy, but you are also there offering your determination, your love, and your hyojang. And above all, I want to tell Mother, these are the families who have signed up for the 120-day Chambo challenge. These are the families that have absolutely committed to bringing tears of joy to your eyes by this October. These are the family members in each nation who, despite whatever challenges they have, despite whatever fears they have, despite the lack of resources and the challenges that all of us are facing, they have committed absolutely to bringing you tears of joy to fulfill Chambo and become heavenly treasures. That, if you really want to know, is what Mother wants to hear. She wants to know that you have heard her loud and clear, and that you have put her love into action. So I want you to sign up right now. There'll probably be a little bit of a prayer and song after this message, but I want you to sign up and pre-register your name right now and discuss it with your spouse. Talk about it with your spouse, even your children. Let the family be aware of what it is you are signing up to do, because once we start this 120 days, you're going to get on a roller coaster ride that's going to be exciting. It's going to be scary. It's going to be fun. It's going to be tearful. But I tell you, even the challenging parts is going to be enjoyable. Absolutely. And so ask your leader who's already participating for their own testimony. And in the meantime, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week. If you haven't yet signed up for PeaceNet, sign up so that you can be a part of the daily joy of participating in a network of peace builders to change the world one day, one family, one heart at a time. God bless you, brothers and sisters. Adieu.